Malaria causes nearly 600,000 deaths every year, nearly all in Africa and about 3/4 in children under the age of 5. But we don't have malaria in Australia, so I think it is very easy for us in Australia to forget that these problems exist in other parts of the world.
When people get malaria, all the symptoms from malaria are caused by our own immune system responding to that parasite. And often that can be overwhelming, too much, and that causes damage to tissues, very sensitive tissues like the brain, the lungs, other organs as well.
Even with drugs that are effective at killing the parasites, unfortunately, we still have patients who have poor outcomes from malaria.
My group is particularly interested in how our immune system responds to this parasitic infection.
In this study, we wanted to test whether ruxolitinib, which is an approved medication that has anti-inflammatory activity and is used to treat certain blood disorders, we wanted to test whether this drug would be potentially beneficial for treating malaria if given alongside anti-malarial treatments. This study was done in collaboration with the University of Sunshine Coast Clinical Trials Unit. In a very closely monitored and carefully controlled environment, we infected 20 healthy volunteers with the parasite that causes malaria.
And when they reach a certain point, which is just prior to them developing clinical symptoms, we treated them.
We were expecting that participants would have an inflammatory response following treatment, because this is the body's response to the parasites being killed by anti-malarial treatment. But I guess what we weren't expecting to see to the degree that we did was the dampening down of that inflammatory response.
What we also found is that when those people were infected for a second time, the people that treated with this host-directed treatment had an enhanced immune response. So we've done two different things. We've dampened inflammation during the initial infection, which we think is a really good thing, but we've also enabled the immune system responding to the second infection to be enhanced as well. We took that basic discovery from about 12, 15 years ago, right through to the clinical trial, which finished 1 or 2 years ago now, and the paper has obviously just come out. So it's a long haul, but I mean, that's why we do this, right?
It is important to note that this was a study done in healthy volunteers in Brisbane, in a non-endemic malaria region where these healthy volunteers have never been exposed to malaria.
I think the next step for us would be to test this drug in the setting of disease, maybe taking it to Africa, doing a clinical trial in Africa with people that have already been exposed to the malaria parasites, and see if we can get the same immune boosting effect in that population.
I think it's really important in Australia that we continue to contribute to the global effort to bring these major global health problems under control.
We're generating a body of knowledge. It's not just for this particular research program, but others will use that knowledge as well to develop their own research programs, and as we will take advantage of the knowledge they generate.